In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. All of us want to be a successful human being. All of us want to lead a very good life. That is something natural. Many of the people, they just want it. While another, some of the people are ready to pay the price of it as well. Because nothing is free here in this world. As for the successful life is concerned, how could it be free? What does mean by being free and paying the price? It does not mean that we do have to pay a specific amount of cash like we buy the luxuries of the life, like we buy the necessities of life. Rather, here, as for the success is concerned, we do have to pay the price of it as well. But the price has to be paid in shape of the hard work. But the price has to be paid in shape of the sacrifice. Sacrificing certain joys and pleasures of ours. Sacrificing rest which was unnecessary. Sacrificing being a shirker. Getting rid of irresponsible attitude. Working hard to be a responsible human being. Working hard to become a learned person, acquiring the skills in the field of your choice, in the field you have decided to work in. So that is the kind of price we do have to pay for the sake of our success and for the sake of avoiding the failure. But one thing is there, we do want to reduce, rather we do want to minimize the price we are going to pay for the sake of success. We do want to minimize it. We do want to reduce it as much as possible. Dear friends and fellows, how can we do that? By the way, we are going to talk about the simplest ever agenda for the sake of success, for the sake of providing a very solid foundation, a very solid foundation of success. A simplest ever formula is going to be debated upon, is going to be talked about. What could it be? My dear friends and fellows in Pakistan, today we are going to talk about the foundation of all the successes, the foundation of all the successes. And it would not be possible to attain the success without having a foundation like this one, and it would be impossible to sustain if at all it was achieved by chance. Now it would not be able, it would be impossible. It would be impossible, and not even impossibly difficult. It would be impossible to sustain that success unless and until we do succeed in providing the kind of foundation we are going to debate upon today. What is it, by the way? Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, there are 3 point formula which will become the basis of every success to achieve and to maintain. It would be essential. First of all, first of all, we need to keep our mind empty. It seems impossible, and it is impossible indeed. What can we do in return for that? What can we do as an alternative to that? It is, if at all a thought has entered our mind, obviously we cannot stop the thoughts entering into our mind at all, but we shouldn't be letting it stay for a longer period of time. Rather, we need to throw it out as soon as we can. If at all there is something important in it, We can tell ourselves, we can tell our mind that okay, it should be saved, and I have saved it, I have noted it. We need to note it, but then don't let it stay in your mind for long. Rather, throw it out as soon as possible. And another thought will come obviously. Our mind cannot stay empty. Our mind is like a container, and a container has to keep itself filled with the air. If exactly not the same, then at least somewhat similar is the position of our mind. As for the waking hours are concerned, sleeping hours are somewhat different, but waking hours are the same. Dear friends, don't let any thought stick to your mind. Don't let any thought stay in your mind, whatever sort of thought it is. It could be a thought of happiness, it could be a thought of sadness, it could be a thought which is neutral of all those. It would be important to throw out every thought which comes to our mind. As for the thoughts of happiness are concerned, obviously it will take some sort of effort to throw it out of the mind. It might not be that easy. But as for the thoughts of sadness are concerned, it is even more difficult to let it go, to throw it out of the mind. But we do have to do that in both of these cases. As for the neutral thoughts are concerned, neutral thoughts are not easy, not difficult to throw out. Rather, it is easy to throw it out. As for the neutral thoughts are concerned, the neutral thoughts which mean it is neither touching our unhappiness or sadness, nor it is touching our happiness, neither. As for the emotional thoughts are concerned, these are not easy to throw out. But if at all we are consistent enough, as far our effort and struggle is concerned, we will be able to gain a bit of skills in it as well. But remember, don't let any thought stay in your mind for long. This is the number one thing. If at all there is something too serious, then take a paper and pencil and start working upon it, or start discussing it, either upon either face to face or on telephone, with the right sort of person. Obviously not with everyone else, but even if at all we are discussing with everyone else, with few exceptions, certain people cannot be intimated about our feelings. But if at all somebody is not related to us, somebody who is not somehow our foe, we can discuss and take the advantage of this discussion as well. Dear friends and fellows, we can discuss it with our friends and with the strangers if we want to. Discussion is always useful. Putting it on paper, writing whatever comes to you, whatever relevant comes to your mind about this thought of sadness or happiness, I think it would be okay. Otherwise, don't let any thought stay into your mind. Work hard upon it. Then the number two is, then be a disciplined person. Then be a disciplined person. Get rid of all the harmful things out of your habits. Get rid of all all the all the unnecessary things out of your habits as well. We can get rid of these. We can start working against these to get ourselves free from the toxic, from the bad habits. We can work, we can keep working, we can keep struggling to get ourselves free from the useless, or from the harmful, from the unnecessary habits. I think we need to keep working hard upon it, especially the harmful habit, especially the useless habits. My dear friends and fellows, we need to discipline ourselves. Obviously, it will need a consistent amount of hard work before it comes over. And then, number three, last but not the least, It is to be a positive person, not to keep criticizing, not to keep blaming, and not to keep complaining the people about the people. Rather, trying to put ourselves in the shoes of others. Rather, try to empathize, and this empathy will make us a positive person. Also, we need to think positive. Also, we need to entertain the hope all the time. There must be a kind of silver lining in front of us for all the time. There must be a ray of hope. My dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, that is something we have talked about. 3 point agenda. Now, this point agenda could become the basis, could become the foundation of all the kind of successes we do want here in this life and even in the life hereafter. Let me tell you, with confidence and with enough amount of confidence, that we it would not be easy, it would not be possible for us to attain any kind of success without this foundation, without these basic principles. And if at all we have attained it, if at all we have succeeded in achieving it by chance, then let me tell you again with enough amount of confidence that it would not be possible, it would not be easy for us, rather, it would not be possible for us to sustain that success for a longer period of time, because we are lacking, we are lacking the very foundation of all the successes. This foundation of success, no matter what kind of person we are, no matter what kind of field we are working in both of these cases, it would be necessary, rather quite a necessary thing, to work well and to keep working well upon this foundation first. Having done that, we can start working for the attainment of our goals, for the achievement of the successes we always wanted to achieve, but without sacrificing, without diverting our attention from this foundation of success. Because, as I earlier said, if at all we are not having this foundation of success, we will not be able to attain and we will not be able to retain as well the kind of success we always wanted to achieve, we always wanted to have. My dear friends, the life is always a struggle, and if at all we are not struggling, if at all we are not working hard, let me tell you, the life is not going to be ours at all. The life is going to be lost. We don't have to lose it, we do have to pay the price of it. As far our successes are concerned, nothing is here without a price, and we have talked about something which is a very basic nature, which will become quite a foundation of our success. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.